What's up, YouTube? I know I haven't been on for a while, so I'm back with a little update for you guys. Cuddy's still looking pretty as usual. Took her out to the car show today for a couple hours. So back to the 350 build out of the 98 Suburban. Timing chain. I went double roller on this motor because it came with a single row timing chain because I got the lt4 hot cam with the 525 on the intake and the 525 lift on the exhaust. I went 1.6 rockers, cams, beefier rocker, but I had to do some shaving to the rockers to do some clearance because I shaved down the stud bosses. I went 7/16 screw-in stud, and I went guide plates. I got rid of the self-aligned stuff. So the 1.6 rockers weren't clearing. I had to shave some meat off of them because the push rod was, let me show you. Push rod was hitting up, so I had to clear all that right there. And I also got to go down in and clear the holes. So that's what I'm doing next. Making the holes bigger because now the push rod's hitting up on the bottom side of the hole and it's not causing the motor to turn over. So that's got to happen. Roller paint. I rolled on the paint. All I did was use the rusty metal primer and I used the semi-gloss black, 2 coats and 2 coats. As far as assembling the motor with the bolts and everything, the screw and studs, use the Permatex Aviation. I got the rollers soaked in oil for a couple days. Got to do a bunch of custom shit to this motor, man, like going aftermarket everything. So this won't even, I had to shim that down a little bit. So I figured the depth and the length of everything. So this is going to have to get cut halfway in order for the measurement to be right when I put the dipstick in to tell my oil level from the bottom of the oil pan. This was just all my old stuff. Use some valve grinding compound. I made it all my valves with each head. I know what goes to where. I'm remanufactured power steering pump. Actually, guys, look what I got for the Cutlass. So I was at the junkyard the other day. I was looking, and I got me a posi unit with a posi unit with 342 gears, but I'm gonna go back 342s because I didn't pull the pinion out of that 96 Camaro. 93 or 96, I can't remember because I was looking at 2. So posi, I'm gonna go rebuild the springs in it. I'm not sure if it needs rebuild, but I'm gonna go with a rebuild before I put it in the motor. 28 spline. Factory Cutlass is a 26 spline, so I gotta buy some 28 spline Mauser G-body axles. So rear end is gonna be probably a month or not even so after this motor gets assembled and gets thrown in here. I'm gonna use the same setup right here, but I'm gonna change the pulleys. And right here is where the compressor goes, actually. I'm gonna reroute this down to here. I'm just gonna do a few odds and ends, make it look a little bit nicer. I have more horsepower. I'm aiming for 400 horse with the cam and everything that I got going on here. Hopefully we get there. I've got a guy who will dyno it out of the vehicle and in the vehicle, but I'm going to dyno it when it's in the vehicle. That way I know my true horsepower rating. Guys, you know, don't judge me. It's my first time actually building the motor, but I have an older gentleman that comes over every day when I call him. And he's been guiding me through it, man. This guy's been building motors since the 60s. Really small block Chevys and everything else, but he loves his small block Chevys, so, and big blocks. So that's it with the motor. Only thing I didn't replace was the flywheel, guys. I pretty much replaced a lot of other stuff on this motor. And so timing chain, I had to cut down some of the boss right there to clear it because this motor didn't come with a double roller. And put new freeze plugs in it. It's coming along. Got all the parts right there. I got studs for it too. And I'm gonna ARP bolts all over everything, harmonic balancer bolts. And I'm gonna rebuild the car because my 650 Holly double pumper's got a little leak where like one of these gaskets is right there. Got a little tad bit leak. Got to install the throttle cable bracket, and I got a few things for it, guys. I got the AC system right there. Brand new compressor. Gonna throw on there. I got the lines. So intake manifold. I even painted the motor mounts. I got the AC lines right there. I got the pulleys set up. Also, so the pulleys. This would be the alternator pulley. And that's the crank pulley. And I got the bolts for everything is ARP. So. Breathers. And transmission dipstick and the valve cover, center bolt valve covers, and the intake whole motor gaskets actually. And I got the 15 thou shim gaskets, Velcro. That way I can get that as much quench out that motor as I can. 15 thou. And yeah, guys, all I got left coming is the torque converter for that transmission. I got me a 2500 stall. It's called a Hughes torque converter, and I got me a transmission shift kit. It's like a 3-stage. You can street strip or track, and so I gotta install that, and then after that, that's all done, and then rear end's knocked out. Most likely they're gonna go 18 or 20-inch rallies, or I don't know, guys. I've really been debating on it. I've been looking at some Kragers, but they're 15s. I really like the size between 15s and 20s. I don't know about 20s anymore for sure, though, because I want the ride, I want the feel, and I want as much horsepower as I can get out of my vehicle without having to lose that tire to weight ratio. Because I did have 22-inch Dayton knockoffs on this vehicle last summer, and it did look nice. It really did look nice. I like the style and everything, but you just can't pull up everywhere with the wheels. It's not to each his own. Everybody goes where they go, and they hang out with who they hang out with.